What if the sun swallowed Earth? It's a scenario that seems straight out of a science fiction novel, but it's rooted in real astrophysical phenomena. It's a question that sparks our curiosity and ignites our imagination. The sun, our life-giving star, holds many secrets and potential threats. Picture our planet, a pale blue dot, dwarfed by the immense fiery sphere of the sun. The sun is about 109 times the diameter of Earth and could fit over 1,000,000 Earths inside it. Imagine the heat, the light, the sheer destructive power as the sun expands, reaching out like a cosmic predator. Solar flares and prominences would become more frequent and intense, bombarding our planet with lethal radiation. It seems like a scene from science fiction, a dramatic end to our world. But could it happen? The sun is currently in its main sequence phase, where it has been for about 4.6 billion years. The answer lies in the stars, in the very life cycle of our own sun. Stars, including our sun, go through a series of stages from birth to death. Stars, like living things, are born, they grow old, and they eventually die. Our sun was born from a cloud of gas and dust, and it will eventually exhaust its nuclear fuel. And in the dying throes of our sun lies a tale of both destruction and creation, a cosmic dance that has played out across the universe for billions of years. When the sun exhausts its hydrogen fuel, it will expand into a red giant, engulfing the inner planets, possibly including Earth. So let's journey together through time and space to explore the science behind this awe-inspiring event. The transformation of the sun into a red giant will be a slow process, taking millions of years. Let's unravel the mysteries of the cosmos and discover what happens when a star like our sun takes its final fiery breath. After the red giant phase, the sun will shed its outer layers, leaving behind a hot core that will cool and shrink into a white dwarf. This final act of stellar evolution will mark the end of our sun's life, but it will also contribute to the cosmic cycle of matter and energy, seeding the universe with the building blocks for new stars and planets. Our sun, a giant ball of burning gas, is a magnificent and awe-inspiring celestial body. It has been shining brightly for about 4.6 billion years, providing the energy necessary for life on Earth. Currently, it is in the prime of its life, a phase known as the main sequence. During this time, the sun remains relatively stable, maintaining a delicate balance between the gravitational forces pulling inward and the nuclear reactions pushing outward. It's classified as a yellow dwarf, steadily fusing hydrogen into helium in its core. This process, known as nuclear fusion, is the source of the sun's immense energy. This nuclear fusion is what powers the sun, bathing our planet in life-giving light and warmth. The energy produced in the core radiates outward, eventually reaching Earth and sustaining the delicate balance of our ecosystem. But this process won't last forever. The sun, like all stars, has a finite lifespan. Over time, the hydrogen fuel in its core will be depleted. Like a car running low on fuel, the sun will eventually exhaust its supply of hydrogen. When this happens, the sun will no longer be able to sustain the nuclear fusion reactions that currently power it. When this happens, in about 5 billion years, the sun will enter a new phase of its life cycle. It will transition from a stable yellow dwarf to a more unstable and dramatic phase. It won't simply fade away. Instead, it will undergo a dramatic transformation, expanding outward into a red giant. This phase will be marked by significant changes in the sun's structure and behavior. This expansion will be slow and gradual at first, but it will be relentless. The sun's outer layers will begin to swell, extending far beyond its current boundaries. The sun will swell, its outer layers reaching out like fiery tentacles into the solar system. These changes will have profound effects on the surrounding planets and celestial bodies, and unfortunately for Earth, we're directly in the path of this stellar expansion. As the sun grows larger, it will eventually engulf the inner planets, including Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth, leading to the end of our planet as we know it. As the sun expands, its surface will draw closer to Earth. This gradual but inevitable approach will have catastrophic consequences for our planet. The once life-sustaining warmth will intensify, turning into an unbearable heat. The gentle rays that nurtured life will become searing beams of destruction. Temperatures on Earth will soar, oceans will evaporate, and the water cycle that sustains life will be disrupted. The seas, which have harbored life for billions of years, will boil away into the atmosphere, and the once vibrant blue planet will transform into a scorched, barren wasteland. The lush greenery and diverse ecosystems will be reduced to dust and ash. The very air we breathe, the oxygen that fills our lungs and sustains our lives, the atmosphere that protects us, will be stripped away by the sun's powerful solar winds. These winds, composed of charged particles, will erode the protective shield that surrounds our planet. The atmosphere, our first line of defense against the harshness of space, will be no match for the sun's relentless assault. Life as we know it would be impossible in this inferno. The lush forests, the vast oceans, the towering mountains, all would be consumed by the sun's relentless heat. The rich biodiversity that once thrived on Earth would vanish. It's a sobering thought, a stark reminder of the immense power of the star at the center of our solar system. The sun, which has been a source of life and energy, will become an agent of destruction. But the story doesn't end there. The sun's expansion isn't the final act in this cosmic drama, it's merely a prelude to an even more profound transformation. As the sun continues to evolve, it will eventually shed its outer layers, creating a stunning planetary nebula. This beautiful yet haunting spectacle will mark the end of the sun's life as we know it. The sun's expansion and subsequent shedding of its outer layers will leave behind a dense core known as a white dwarf. This remnant will be a shadow of the sun's former glory, a testament to the life cycle of stars. It's merely a prelude to an even more profound transformation. The sun's journey from a life-giving star to a white dwarf is a reminder of the ever-changing nature of the universe. This transformation is a natural part of the cosmic order, a cycle that has repeated countless times across the galaxy. The science of a stellar giant. To understand what happens next, we need to delve into the science of stars. As the sun runs out of hydrogen in its core, the outward pressure from nuclear fusion lessens. This causes the core to contract under its own gravity, heating up even further. This intense heat then ignites hydrogen fusion in the shell surrounding the core. This shell burning causes the sun's outer layers to expand dramatically, turning it into a red giant. The sun, during this phase, will become 100 times larger than its current size. Its outer layers will cool down, giving it a reddish hue. This is why it's called a red giant, a giant star glowing with a cool red light. Could life endure the inferno? It seems unfathomable, but could any form of life on Earth possibly withstand the sun's expansion? The answer most likely is no. The extreme temperatures and harsh conditions would likely eradicate all forms of life as we know it. However, the universe is a vast and mysterious place, full of surprises. Perhaps deep beneath the Earth's surface, in the darkest depths of the oceans, extremophile organisms, life forms that thrive in extreme environments might find a way to survive, or perhaps life could evolve in new and unexpected ways, adapting to the scorching heat and finding a way to cling to existence in this radically transformed world. While the odds are stacked against it, the possibility, however small, remains a tantalizing thought.